So this week we are going to cover coding scripts. So you're going to want to read chapter 14 in the book and then go through the lecture demo. So this is going to provide some more information about how to code scripts. And you'll notice that this is more like programming, a little less like SQL. Um, so we do have, an if else, we have looping. Um, you can actually incorporate try catch. So a lot of these types of statements are very similar to what you've learned in the 110 course. Also, if you've taken JavaScript or are taking JavaScript, you'll notice that a lot of the commands are the same. In order to do any kind of scripting, you have to be able to create variables. So we talk about the different ways you can create variables in SQL. And then basically how you can use those variables, how you would go about printing them out, how to do scalar variables, which are one value, and how to do table variables, which would include multiple columns. And then how to create a temporary table. There's two different types, local and global. The main difference is local only works on your computer. Global works on a network. So anybody on the network would have access. Okay, and then we talk about different types of tables and what the differences are between them. And then we get into statements that alter the flow of execution, which are things like if else, okay, while statements, the try catch error handling. Okay, so a lot of this, as I said, you will be somewhat familiar with. So it's just learning how to do it, in SQL. Then we have a textbook assignment. The links for the videos are at the top, and it basically covers, the task and the different scenarios. So task one is a little bit longer. So you'll notice the first three scenarios are in the first video. Scenario 4 is in the second one. And then for tasks 3, 2, 3, and 4, everything is in one video. And for your lab assignment, you're going to be applying what you have learned. So you're going to have to do a query that uses a scalar variable, a query that uses a table variable. And there should be plenty of examples for you to look at. You're going to create a temporary table, a local and a global. You are going to create a query that uses an if statement. You are going to create a query that uses a while statement. With the while statement, I want you to use a row cursor. Okay, and there's plenty of examples on how to do that. But that basically lets you access the data row by row. Then you are going to use a try catch for error handling. And this example is similar to what you need to do, but you need to come up with your own code. So don't just type this in because this is applying what you have learned. So you are going to have to come up with your own code, but it can be similar to these examples. Then the last thing you need to do is the quiz. It's set up the same as the other ones. The questions focus on chapters 9, 13, and 14. The quizzes were 25 points. And the question types are very similar to what you're going to see on the certification test. Now you can take this 3 times. There's no time limit and it's open book. There are 5 questions that are randomly drawn from a pool of questions. So if you take this 3 times, those 5 questions are going to change. But the rest of the questions are not going to change. Okay, so that is the quiz, and you're just going to want to make sure you take that, 3 times, and that way you can get the highest score possible. Okay, and then you're going to want to make sure you take it before the quiz closes. Typically, I keep quizzes open a week after they are due. So the quiz should remain open through the 17th. Okay, that gives you plenty of time to get 3 times in, uh, so you have the chance of getting the highest score possible. The correct answers are not going to be displayed until after the test closes. Okay, so you'll know if you got something right or wrong, but you're not going to see the right answer until it closes. So if you have any questions or if you run into problems this week, please let me know. One other thing I want to point out is that this class does assess critical thinking, and we use the test of everyday reasoning with numeracy to assess critical thinking. You only need to take this test 1 time a year. So if you took it in the fall of 22, you're good. Just submit done and you get your extra credit. If you have never taken this test or you haven't taken it this year, okay, you didn't take it in the fall, then you need to take it now. And if you check your email by the end of today, Thursday, the 23rd, by the end of today, you should see your username and password. And then, you can take the test anytime before the end of the semester and come in here, submit done, and you will get the 20 points extra credit. And not only that, but if you have multiple CIT classes, at least with me, you can submit done in every one of these and just rack up the extra credit. Okay, so it's actually a pretty good deal for you. Let me know if you have any questions or problems, and have an awesome week.